Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack working this story tonight. And what happened, Jessica? They weren't able to plan ahead for this shortage?
The problem is really twofold, and we'll get to that in a minute, but I just want to underscore the numbers we're talking about, Taryn and Roop. They have one investigator at the city of Ypsilanti Police Department handling all of the crime that's happening there. And when the new chief took over a few months ago, he did an audit to try and find some of those problem areas, and that glaring one is the lack of investigators. So that meant getting creative, calling on the folks here at the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office.
Quite frankly, they're throwing us a lifeline.
In the city of Ypsilanti Police, they need it, and now they have just one detective handling all investigations.
We've had one primary investigator to handle capital cases, and so that is not a sustainable scenario for any jurisdiction.
Staffing shortages are everywhere in policing. At this PD, it's becoming critical.
This summer has been particularly unusual for this county, from what I know, in terms of some of the violent crime. And of course, in my jurisdiction, we had stabbing. We've had several shootings.
That one detective is overloaded. That's why after just 3 months as Ypsilanti's top cop, Chief Kirk Moore is enlisting the help of Washtenaw County Sheriff's deputies. They're detectives on standby starting next week to handle homicides, attempted murder, suspicious deaths, and other high-profile crime.
We'll assign an investigator, and they'll take that investigation all the way through conclusion.
Washtenaw County Sheriff Jerry Clayton says his detectives are busy dealing with 10 homicides in June alone in their county jurisdictions.
Since June, we had a spate of homicides. The suspects connected to those homicides have all been identified and arrested and arraigned in the court system.
But he says they're the right people for this added workload, and the proof is in their clearance rates. That's the measure of crime solved.
Overall clearance rate for violent crime is 61%, which is almost double the national average. So we have the staff to do it.
The sheriff's office aid will last for 120 days, but Sheriff Clayton says they'll backfill as long as it's needed. Chief Moore says it gives them some breathing room to train new detectives and beef up the investigative unit.
Victims of crimes, they need to understand and know that we're going to be tenacious about serving the public. And this effort is another step in ensuring that the community is serviced to the correct level.
Taryn, you mentioned earlier what happened here. How did they get to the position that they're in? Well, the problem, the chief says, is twofold. They had a cluster of retirements coupled with the last couple of years just an overall lack of interest in going into the policing profession. The chief says that part of his plan moving forward is to create a robust recruiting campaign as soon as possible. Reporting live in Washtenaw County, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Jess, you cover departments all across our area. Break that down for us. The population of Ypsilanti, 20,000. 20,000 people, one detective. Now, there's a reason they need help. That just isn't enough. And that county, as you pointed out, is pretty busy.
Absolutely. And, we talk a lot about the shootings, homicides, and that kind of thing in the city of Ypsilanti. But what about the petty theft, car theft, stuff like that? Quality of life issues matter there, too. And the chief said one detective cannot handle all of that. That's why they're enlisting the help of these guys. And you look at those clearance rates, those are good, twice the national average. So the folks in Ypsilanti, they can see some really robust policing efforts in the next couple of months.
Yeah, good department that needs to lean on others to get the job done, and that's what they're doing. Jessica Dupnack for us live. Thank you.